Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Cheers! Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa to all of you. I hope you're somewhere spending some wonderful time with your families. My name is Dwana. Welcome to Live with Dwana, DIY with wine. Today, we're just going to be learning about what you should have in your freaking toolboxes. Some of you are living by yourselves and you cannot call up a handyman every time you need to hang up a photo. So I'm just going to show you some things you need to have in your toolbox. Also, while sipping a glass of wine. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to go get your favorite little sip, and I'll see you right back. Bye! So here I have my trusty toolbox. If you don't have a toolbox, you can always start with a bag. A small little bag you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's. And you literally open up this bag, and wouldn't you like to know what's inside? Inside of my box, I have gloves, protective wear to help make sure my hands and these beautiful Kwanzaa decorated nails don't get messed up. So I have gloves. Sometimes I paint in them. Sometimes I like to not paint in them and use like plastic gloves, disposable. So I have some of those. I always keep those in my pocket, but you can keep them in your toolbox as well. So I have my gloves, 2 pairs, because you never know when you may get a hole in one, or one may get a little dusty. You want to switch them over. And also the gloves have some grip to them. So when you're grabbing things like pipes and sheetrock, that you have a little more strength and protection for the tips of your fingers. I also have a hammer. Everyone knows what a hammer is. A hammer. You need to use this to bang in nails. Sometimes you use this side to remove nails. We'll talk about that more in another video with how do you remove a nail from a wall. I can imagine that some of you don't know how to do this, or actually don't really freaking want to do it. But you never know where you may be thrust in a position where you may need to hang something up or knock something down. This is a trusty tool. And then also in my toolbox, I have a screwdriver. And you don't need 5. You know how you pick up these packages and they have like 5 screwdrivers? You do not need that. I have 1. Look what it does. It goes boom, 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 down. And I turn it upside down, and it's a flathead. You see that screwdriver, the tip, how it's flat there? That's what's called a flathead. And then I have this side, a Phillips head. Boom. And you'll notice when you see a screw that it has like 4 little, like a star or a cross. That's a Phillips head, and the flathead's the other side. You need this for everything. Almost like when you're trying to hang up some curtain rods, or you want to change a light switch plate. That's always awesome to use this. You will change to the flathead, boom, boom, boom. And then you have a new screwdriver. Beautiful. I also want to add, you notice the little pink dots? Because my husband and I both share tools, but you want to have your own tools. Just like you want to have your own sewing machine, you want to have your own tools. So here, a screwdriver. Love this. I also want you to have an X-Acto knife. This is for cutting sheetrock. When you press this little thing and push it out, a razor blade comes out the side. Clearly, I need to refill my razor blades. I just use them, or someone I know in the house used them. Notice the pink dot. That means it's Dwana's tools, so we don't fight about whose tools is what. I have this X-Acto knife. It's able to open up right there where you can put a new blade in, just like that. You close it, boom. You need this for cutting open boxes or to remove caulking. This is a perfect tool. This is an excellent tool to have in your toolbox. Next on my list is a wrench. Now, this may look like a gigantic wrench, but let me tell you, when I was removing the radiator last month, this is what I needed to loosen those bolts. You simply this is for big jobs. You turn this and it simply just allows you to change the size and the width of the screw. Also, here are some other wrenches, but these are more like putting together furniture. You know, like when you get those IKEA pieces or things from the shop and you just need to add something. Tiny, tiny, tiny. But I like this one. This makes me feel like, I'm doing business, right? So after that, One of my favorite tools for putting together entertainment centers and all that kind of stuff, because I love putting together furniture. I have no idea why, but this right here is an Allen wrench. Da, 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 and it has several different sizes in this Allen wrench. And so you can literally put together things, take apart things. This very desk that I put back together used one of the top ones. I remember I had a performing arts center and the doorknobs kept coming off, and we used this tiny little Allen wrench key to tighten up the knobs. You notice that some of the screws that you see in the things that you have around your house don't have a head, like it's not a Phillips head or a flat head where none of this screwdrivers work. Sometimes it takes an Allen wrench, and so you just need to have separate sizes. Like many pieces of furniture come with Allen wrenches that, you know, go with that particular furniture. But I always like to have like one that has several different sizes on it, so I can just pull it out and voila, there's my Allen wrench. And once again, my pink dot to make sure, actually my pink dot is missing, so I have to make sure I put my pink dot on it. And it's actually just nail polish. Next, I want to show you a vice grip. A vice grip is something you use a tool that you use to clamp onto something, so it looks like this, right? It clamps on and then you screw it, yes, to make it tight, to grip. And this is if you like have a hard nail that's just not coming out the wall, or maybe a staple that's not coming out the wall, and you need to get a real grip on it, and you tighten it, and you pull. This is mine. Notice my cute little vice grip. This is my husband's. So when I need him to come in and just like, he shows up with the manly one. Ha ha ha. But yeah, so no, I could use this one as well, but why break a nail when you don't have to? Okay, so also, let's go back to my wrench. Look, here's another wrench. See this tiny one? Love this one too. Just a smaller version of this other wrench, okay? Yes. Lovely. Oh, guess what I forgot to do? Make sure you're taking a sip of wine. Let's see. Ooh, girl, that's good. So what else do we have? We have a little paint can opener. This paint can opener has saved me so many times really quickly. I often like to keep it right here in my overalls, because then I'm able to just literally just grab it, open up a can of polyurethane, open up some stain, open up the paint, and boop, plop it right back in here. So your paint can opener. And you get these at the hardware store. Like when you buy paint, they give them to you free. Yes? So voila. Also, one of my favorite things is a nail punch. Sometimes when you're using a nail gun, these aren't normal things that you would put in your house. But also, when you see a nail around your house that's sticking out, some of these old houses have, you know, wood floors where the nails are sticking out from the floor. Instead of ruining your wood floors and creating a big wound with the head of the hammer, you can actually use a nail punch. And actually, you see the size of that? And you see the size, the tip of that? All you have to do is at the tip of the nail, especially when I'm using a nail gun and the nail didn't go in all the way, I would put it on the tip and I would go tap, and it would go straight in. And so you have two different sizes, and we actually share some of these tools because some of the things are expensive, and so we just, you know, go in between. Babe, you got the nail, you know, you got the nail punch, you got the vice grip, the big one. We share those type of things. But small things, like your hammer, my husband's hammer is gigantic. I can barely even freaking lift it. It's like, why? This is my hammer, but I actually have 3 hammers. I'm going to show you. My toolbox, if you didn't notice, had like a little shelf. So on my top shelf, I put like small things, you know, like one light hammer, my nail punch, my small wrench, my screwdrivers, my quick things, my gloves, things like that. But inside, I also have another hammer. This is actually my bigger, more weighted hammer. You see the size? Light job, little stronger job. Light job, little stronger job. Yes? So actually, in actuality, this was the hammer that has some weight on it where you have to do less work with your back and your body. This was the hammer that I used to break down the brick wall, right? And then I have another hammer. Who needs 3 hammers? I don't freaking know who needs 3 hammers. I just have 3 hammers. Over the years, every time I go to the hardware store, I'm like, ooh, that's a cute hammer. Tell me what the difference is between this one and this one. I have no idea, right? So also in my toolbox, I have a brush. This brush is a game changer because anytime I'm doing something and there's some dust, or anytime I need to, hang up a photo, I just finished painting, or I'm just like, there's a project and there's like little dust particles, I use this brush to like clean up the area. Boom, 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 boom. And then voila. So I have a little brush. Also inside my toolbox is some WD-40. WD-40 is used to loosen up a screw. As you can hear my husband, he's struggling out there because he's not using WD-40. So WD-40 I would spray. Actually, when I was using this WD-40, this is not a commercial or an ad for WD-40, but this is some stuff that's been around for forever and ever. And I sprayed the radiator screws and the bolts, attached my vice grip, and literally wrenched it off, because that was a task post. Okay? Another really, really, really important thing. Wait, hold on one second. Very good, very good. Another really good thing side note, don't be drinking while you're working. Don't be drinking while you're doing your construction around your house. You want to know why? Because you can hurt yourself. Another really, really important thing to have in your toolbox is measuring tape. This thing is a game changer, okay? When you're hanging up photos, when you're hanging up anything, when you're hanging up curtain rods, when you're measuring sheet rods. But we have actually another ruler, long thing, a T ruler to measure sheet rock, really. But this, wonderful. I can know, let me see, how long is this photo? Where do I want something to go? I literally have my measuring tape, and I have 2. Get a good measuring tape, okay? For some reason, they don't make them the way they used to, and they're always falling apart. But I love this one. Love it, love it, love it. And I actually have 2. Ta-da-da! Because every time I'm looking for my measuring tape, I can never find it. So I'm always buying another one. Wa-la-la-la-la. Something that's extremely, extremely important that you probably don't see me in my videos wearing a lot, but I should actually have them on, are my protective goggles, people. These things are the cutest things in the world, okay? But these things are awesome when you're doing work with dust or anything that is going to allow your work to splatter in your face, splashing in your face. You want to protect your eyes. Another thing I have in my toolbox is staple guns. Da-da-da-da-da. Boom, 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 boom. These things are wonderful. Like if you're reupholstering a couch, any type of thing. If you're draping fabric in a building for a ceremony, these type of things really, really, really come in handy. You want to have your staple guns, and you also want to have your staples. I have 2 more tools to show you. So one is my spackling knife. A spackling knife is used to like spackle a hole, plaster a hole, fix anything. You can actually scrape with it, scrape some excess paint that you don't really need before you paint. This is a gem, a gem, a gem. You can fix any imperfection in your house, in your wall, spackling knife. This other tool, this next tool on our list, is called a 5-in-1 because you can use it for several different things. I can yank something out the wall. I can scrape paint. It can go around a pole when I'm trying to scrape a radiator pole. This is a wonderful tool to have, a 5-in-1. Also, you want to make sure in your toolbox you have some scissors because you're going to have to cut things. You're going to have to cut strings and cut all kinds of stuff when you're like opening packages and when you're building things and moving around. You're going to need some scissors. Last but not least, You're going to need a pencil. I like to use this fancy pencil because those other pencils from the hardware store, they tend to break easily. They don't sharpen very well. I use this, or I use some chalk, like the sewing chalk. But yes, a pencil. So when you are measuring with your measuring tape, that you can go whoop, 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 and then you mark with the pencil. Yes. So for now, I think that's all you need inside your toolbox. But I'm actually going to show you a bonus tool just because you stayed and lasted this long. Other thing that's in my toolbox, but it's not really in my toolbox. It is really around my waist when I'm working. Sometimes I will put my tool belt around my waist. Da, 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 da. I like to wear it here, depending upon the job, here or here. And in this tool bag, you would put your essentials, like your measuring tape. You never want to have to run back to your toolbox to get your tools. You just want to have everything with you. And if you need to, you step away and get the bigger things from your toolbox. But in your tool bag, here is a small little ruler as well for tiny, tiny little jobs. I just want to put that in there with my measuring tape. Then I also have my scissors. Yes, and then I also have my vice grip, my tiny one. Move that over and I put it around here. And they have this little hook thing for your hammer. And so inside I would put my hammer. Here it goes right here. See? Hammer goes in there. My screwdriver, I put all my screwdrivers there and there with my vice grip, my X-Acto knife inside. And I like to have my 5-in-1 inside its own thing and my spackling knife. Boom. And those are the things that I like to walk around with. Also, one last thing. Boop, my pencil, I actually sit it right here because I really want to have things around me. And my paint can opener. And because you lasted this long and you subscribed, I'm going to show you my bonus tool, my drill. This little trusty thing, my electric drill. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Let's drink to the drill, y'all. Let's drink to the drill, okay? My husband's using a drill in the hallway. Can you hear him? This is my electric drill that when you have a big job for your screwdriver, you would use this. Like when I'm hanging up my curtain rods, hung them up in the office, I use my drill. I made sure I used my measuring tape, so I made sure they were even. But this little trusty tool is so I don't have to use all my muscle to get that nail and that screw into the wall. If you had an amazing time, don't forget to check that like button and ask me any questions. If there's something that's in your toolbox that's not in my toolbox that you think I need in my toolbox, leave me a comment, let me know. If you are trying to figure out where to get these things, literally you can go to Home Depot, you can go to Lowe's. You do not have to spend a lot of money, but if you want to have a tool for like years, simply just buy it once. You don't need to have 3 hammers. Buy it. Buy a good hammer. You'll have that hammer for the rest of your life. Make sure you put your name on it or some kind of dot, some kind of line, and so you can say that this is my hammer. Don't forget to have a happy holidays. Thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day, an amazing week, and I hope you come back. Cheers. Next on Live with Dwana, we are going to be celebrating Kwanzaa with my family, and I have a special gift that I've gifted all of them that I really want you to see. Have a wonderful day.